Well, I can't believe we made it this far, D-Roy. It is our 100th episode special coming up very, very soon.
We're excited because we're excited. We want to share with the listeners, and man, let's celebrate.
So we've been doing a lot of this card talk, but yeah, I figure, there's no better way to give away one of our Michael Jordan PSA 10 population of 3 in the entire world giveaway. So
wait. There's 3 of these cards in the world.
In the world.
And you're just going to give it away.
I'm giving away to our special eBay Pirate listeners. In order to qualify, we need you to go on and help us out, get the word out there. Give us a review on Apple, on iTunes, on Pod Scratcher, all of these outlets. We need your help.
Wherever you're at, give us a review.
Yeah, they said shoot us a message, let us know, hey, I reviewed it, and we will get you in the drawing for it. I said, Michael Jordan, PSA 10, 3 in the world, special oversized card. It will make your
Am I eligible?
No, you are not eligible.
That's some good booty.
That's a good card. Like I said, I don't quite know the value because there's only 3 in the world, but I figure our listeners are deserving of it.
There's only 3 that exist. It's a PSA 10. Michael Jordan, what year was that?
1997.
Graded a 10.
And like I said, the only thing you have to do is be our eBay Pirate, our listeners. You're helping our show grow. Get on there, give us a review on anywhere you listen to our podcast. Let us know about it. Send us a message, and you will be entered to win this amazing card.
But they have to pay for shipping.
No, we're giving it all away, man. We'll even give them a card, a little sticker, too. We're going all out. This is 100 episodes. No one thought it would go with the sport. Not your wife, not my wife. No one thought we'd get this.
Not our listeners' wives have been stuck listening to us for the last 100 episodes.
We appreciate it. We've made it 100 episodes. It's been great. The numbers are phenomenal. They're great. They're wonderful. Never been better. We appreciate you listening to it. Get in there. Get your chance. We want to see this special piece of memorabilia in your household.
Here comes the money. Here comes the money. Money, 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 money. Money, 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 money. Money, 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 money. Money, 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 money.
Well, friends, family, it's that time of the week. We are at the DeathPiles and Taxes show, episode number 98, Adam.
We're barely getting into it. You're already getting hot controversies.
I know. We have some guests, and we'll be talking with them a little later, but feel free to join in if you want. Should we tell names or keep suspense?
Let's hold off just a minute. Let's get into your controversies, some things you've been doing this week, and then I got a beef with PSA that I got to go over with you.
Uh-oh. Well, controversy creates cash.
Well, this is the Death Pile and Taxes podcast special, getting close to that Hundy episode. We're number 98 today. We do got something to do. We got to do 30.
And this is for Waddy. Last week I did come prepared. That was a good episode, though. You get good feedback on that?
I heard that there were several people that were, I guess, jealous of Waddy and his very Swave and DeBoner ways.
Swave and DeBoner?
Yeah.
That's something different where I come from.
That's what Pelican told me.
Well, that's why you don't listen to Pelican.
He said it's very well-spoken.
You said that's what you get for hanging out with Ken Jennings. We didn't even bring that up.
I forgot about that.
But
and even after that, rumors have it, he might be the next host.
Oh, yeah?
They said Alex, we all know he's not doing great. He's had that cancer for several years, but they were saying he might be the next Alex Trebek.
Oh, I thought you meant Waddy might be the next Death Piles and Taxes host.
Oh, no, Alex. Alex might be getting replaced.
Well, if ever your state has like somehow inland hurricane, and you have a good idea after work to run up, an hour or so to check out some things at a Walmart,
yeah,
don't do it.
What do you mean?
I gunned it up to Clearfield after work, which means nothing to a lot of people. But I'm looking for certain items. And I can't get too much into detail because,
Canning lids?
Let's just call them canning lids for the kids. But this is Christmas canning lids. And I had me a hot tip.
Okay, a hot tip that you were giving to people.
So I thought, I'll go up to this town that's about an hour outside my work, and I'll clear house, and I'll come in here just happy as can be for the podcast.
And what happened?
Well, apparently we had some sort of a windstorm in the state last night that affected the northern half.
It was Hurricane, I don't know, Gustavo.
Hurricane Pelly. So I get about, 2 exits away from where I'm going, and there's a semi-truck still tipped over off the side of the road.
Couldn't get by?
There's a Home Depot sign in the middle of the freeway.
Okay.
And for some reason, the lights aren't working, the signal traffic lights.
Were there several people out by the sign looking for work?
No, I wasn't at the Home Depot.
Oh, okay.
This is just getting off the freeway.
I don't know if you threw them off because the sign was in the freeway.
So, no, well, that would have been even worse. So I stop over at this Walmart because I'm like, well, Walmarts stay open no matter what because that's where people go to loot and get things.
It's true.
And I thought, okay, so I pull up and, they have half of it shut down, but that's how most Walmarts look right now, half's open.
Yeah.
So I go pulling over on this side, and I'm just happy as, I got this, I can't say the item. Because
you wouldn't even tell me.
Because, there's ears out there. But I pull up, and there's a big poster board in the Walmart window that says, due to power outage, we're closed. Sorry for the inconvenience.
So what happened to all the frozen goods?
I don't buy any frozen goods from northern Utah Walmarts, apparently, for the next couple weeks.
I know they got those backup generators.
So then I have to get on the freeway and get back home so I can be here with you guys. I was going to bring in a big trophy and show you what I've been looking at. But
you've been hunting down, so. Well, like I said, this is the Death Piles and Taxes podcast, your randomness about learning how to make cash. We've got some special guests in-house, and they came bearing gifts.
I know. I'm just, I'm going to start inviting more people. I get all these presents. I got me a Ric Flair WCW Monday Nitro Limited Edition Set 1 action figure.
Oh, boy.
We did a quick scan. It's from 1997.
Wow.
Toy Maker's Edition, it looks like. Quick scan, there hasn't been any on eBay for the last 90 days.
Well, you know what that means. You can set your own price.
That means that's gonna be a high dollar item.
The big ticket.
So what's your beef?
Well, we've been card deep in this, trying to make my money back. Gotta get ready. And I've sent off several things to PSA to get graded. And I had a lot come back, and this is how it came back. It didn't come back encased. They didn't give me a grade. They just sent it back like that. They still charged me for it.
Missized Q.
Yeah. I don't know what that means.
It means you better get on the phone and see what it means.
I already tried. I have called twice and left messages, but they're a tough bunch to get a hold of.
I'll give you my secret number of how to get a hold of them.
Okay, well, I appreciate that. So, anyway, this card came back. It said, like I said, missized, which I don't know what it means. It's a normal sized card, so they didn't grade it. So that's still a bummer because they charged me for it.
Well, yeah, we'll have to get to the bottom of that one.
And then my other beef was back to the meth head. Remember the meth head?
How could I forget?
I was hoping that I was going to make my millions from the meth head buying those cards, and I sent in 6 different cards that had been graded from another company to PSA, and I put a minimum grade of 9 on them. All of them were PSA 10 or graded 10 from the other company.
There you go.
I sent it in as a crossover, so they would break it, and they didn't even break them, so they sent it back to me. All of them were 10s, but only one of them came back as a graded 9. But I'm still kind of baffled and behooved by this because...
Well, you told them if it wasn't a 9, don't do it.
I did, but...
So you're mad at yourself.
But how did all of them come back? They were all 10s, but one of them came back that it was a 9.
Have you watched this Cobra Kai show that's taken over? It's getting popular now.
I saw the preview.
There's some Miyagi magic going on over there at PSA. It's just, you wax on, you wax off a little bit. Yeah, if they say it's an 8, it's an 8. If they say it's a 10, it's a 10.
So, but usually, like, they're supposed to break the case and open it up so that there's no...
That's the way I understood it.
There's no bias towards it, saying, hey, this is what they're saying is, we're better than that. We're not going to mark it a 10. But they shouldn't even know what it is.
Well, I'm working on getting a PSA guest. That guy that I talked to that's from these parts.
Oh, that's a good guess.
So maybe we'll write down all of our questions, and someday we'll have those mysteries answered.
And one thing that I've learned from my past doings with the IRS, which I actually just had a good experience this week, I try to bring up all the nice things that they've done for me first. So I'm not going to pepper our PSA guy with what the hell happened with my Jerry Sloan card.
Jerry was a legend in these parts.
How come my COVID...
He's never been missized a day in his life. Why don't you say that to his face? They call it the Miller family telling him he was a little missized. He wasn't bounced the first round of the playoffs.
That's right. Never, ever, I don't think. Oh man, you just took me off track.
You're going to call him, be nice to
Oh
him.
yeah, I was going to be nice to him and just let him know, like, hey, really appreciate my oversized Jordans. He came in.
Oversized is okay. Undersized isn't okay.
Apparently
That's
so.
we're learning.
No, that's the true story. But we got those oversized Jordans that have come back. I did.
Man, you're handing out those oversized Jordans like it's going out of business.
I am handing them out. We're doing our giveaway here on the DeathPiles in Texas, starting to get some good traction. Did the same thing over to Phil's. Wanted to tell our buddy Phil over there we appreciate all he's doing. And man, he can't keep cards in stock, is what he's telling me.
Yeah, you got to go over and fellowship with Phil and maybe get you some good cards.
Well,
He's trying. He has a big order sheet. It's just what comes in.
That's what he keeps telling me. So I figured we hit the guy with some good questions. Appreciate all the good.
I'm working on it. It's
feedback.
one of those things that I don't know if they're allowed to talk to the media. I don't know how it works.
Well,
the
it's
curtain can come back from Oz or not.
It's just us here talking right now. So
Well, I mean, we got our guests. If you guys want to chime in at all, feel free. Step to the plate. Also, fourth quarter's coming up, and I need to say a few things.
okay,
You need to start getting your packing supplies now for the fourth quarter. There's rumors going around, and with the post office, there's always rumors, but they might be doing away with the padded envelope,
PSA.
the priority.
Oh.
Yeah, see, the priority mail padded envelope, flat rate. Everyone loves it.
I know it.
If it fits, it ships. There's a rumor going around that they might be going away from that. So if you can get a bunch, you're grandfathered in. So even if you don't need any, I would go onto the USPS site and I would order a bunch. Also, just things that you might need as far as shipping supplies go. I would go over there and load that wagon because once you know that you need shipping supplies, it's a little too late.
I don't know if you just saw that, but I have my special blue padded envelopes I got for myself, specially fitted for graded cards. Well ahead of you on that one.
Well, that's not USPS
Several
priority
times.
mail.
Well, I understand that, but
So you're going to have to pay more to ship that.
well, I understand, but it's got my own stamp of approval on it. So, $2-3. I've already had several good comments about how well they're packaged.
Several good feedbacks.
That's right.
Well, that's good.
Got to do something to get those feedbacks. Not all of us have been doing this since the aughts.
That was single odds, but no, get over there, get loaded up on your shipping supplies. If you're not going to get it from the post office, you can go like Adam and go get your own special little blue envelopes. Do whatever you got to do to ship your stuff, but it's time to load up on that kind of stuff.
Those were
because
super cheap. I got them from Amazon. Astronomically cheap. And I'm going to tell you a little secret that I've been doing. All of these packages that I've been getting back, I've got a box in there. So now I don't even have shipping supplies because I just ship it right back in the box they gave it to me.
you recycle it.
Same padded envelope, same bubble wrap. It's been good.
Oh, I've done the same. I'm telling our listeners out there who might not be selling their padded cards, they might be selling the tractor supplies or something. I don't know. They need to get some boxes and they need to load up because once Grandpa's ordering those John Deere parts, it's time to be shipping, not looking for the boxes.
We know no one's selling canning goods because you'd already be buying them.
You can't find them.
They're non-existent.
And if you were listening to this show, you've made a lot of money off doing that.
All right, well, we better have one of these special guests in-house step up. Which one of you boys is going to be first?
Coming up to the big plate.
Do we have walk-up music for him?
What music do you know?
I don't even
put that in
know
there.
how he could be in a better mood after his football game last night. That was unbelievable. It was a slaughter. It was like Derek going against anyone else in wrestling memorabilia on Twitter.
I thought it was going to be a buffet joke there, so I'm feeling good. Jimmy Cheapy Pants, are we going with your legal name, or are you just Jimmy Cheapy Pants today?
That's good.
That's
Cheapy
good.
Pants is good.
Jimmy, how many episodes of the Death Pile and Taxes show have you listened to?
So I listened last week, and Mr. Waddy was impressive, like Adam said. One thing I have that he doesn't is I have listened to the Death Piles and Taxes podcast twice as long as him.
Twice as long.
Yeah.
Because you listen to it on single speed.
I listen at normal
not
speed.
double speed.
Yeah, have you ever tried the double speed?
I get on like the 1.5 and I still can't handle it.
That's about as far as I can go.
Yeah,
I've tried the double speed before, and that's too efficient.
I don't have that little of time. But with Jimmy, I mean, he is another one of those masterly educated men. He has a lot of things that he does well for the municipalities here in the state. And he's got to like it because he'd be wasting a lot of time to listen to us for an hour go on every single week. So,
And also, this is not his first appearance on the show.
it is not.
He was at the Venue Sports with Phil show.
He's checking out my undersized card over there.
I got a theory on that.
You got a theory?
Let's hear it.
You are the masterly educated man, so please share your theory.
No, I remember reading a few months ago about PSA having an issue, or whatever grading companies having an issue with cards being trimmed. So, if you've got a card with a little bent corner, then you cut off the corner just a tiny bit, hoping to get a better grade. And they've had to start looking closer at making sure the cards aren't cut.
I'm gonna have to check out the guy.
That sounds like something you would have done.
But you think, yeah.
You probably have your kids down there in the basement clipping corners.
Is that a real autograph on it?
It's a sticker.
Oh, okay.
It's a sticker.
So
autograph.
it'd probably be worth trimming if you're trying to send it to get graded. But
It very well could be.
you're the one that sent it to get graded.
I
so
bought this from a fine establishment here locally. So
Well, you don't even know what gentlemen's clubs you've been attending.
Hey, now there's some stories behind that. I don't have random numbers in my cell phone.
Well, I do business.
You do a lot.
I do business.
You do a lot of business. You never know where
I get results.
You never know where you're going to meet people at.
Well, Jimmy, Death Piles and Taxes, do you have a favorite episode or a favorite moment of the podcast now that we're coming up on 100 episodes?
No, I think my favorite moments are when Adam uses a word that has a different meaning to me than it does to him. It always gives me a chuckle. So
I believe you're obfuscating the future, of the things that we learned in college. If you didn't know this,
We had a
Jimmy and
class
I,
together.
we shared an economics class. One of us did extremely well, the other of us didn't pass.
The one who has a podcast talked about business, and the other one is just a guest. Who knows which is which at this point?
well, I didn't fail it. So,
Hey,
but I did not get a good grade in that class.
C's get degrees, and it took me a long time to get those.
Well, you earned it. You bought it. Jimmy, have you ever sold anything on the internet?
No.
What's the holdup?
Or
You listened to 99 episodes. You're part 2 of the 99 episodes.
Well, my wife sells a lot of stuff on Facebook Marketplace.
so your wife does the selling.
But
Okay.
yeah, my own stuff. I don't have anything that valuable. I like to think, but the stuff that is valuable, I keep. I think the main reason I don't sell stuff is because I'm really risk averse. I do not like.
Hence
Speculating.
Cheapy pants.
Yeah.
You didn't learn from Waddy last week when he was saying how much stuff he had sold, and then he credited it all to his wife doing all the work on what they have sold.
Yeah, that's what I should have said. How much I sell?
So your wife sells things on the internet
Yes.
with your advice.
No.
She just does it all on her own. So does she listen to the podcast?
No.
She could be like tripling her money if she was, right?
Maybe learn what not to do. Apparently, it's having success over there. So, what are some things that the missus has sold that's amazed you with the price that it's received?
Well, one thing I guess that we do consult on is on bigger things. We consult on the price, and I like to, if we don't have a rush to sell something, I'll suggest that we, put it at a higher price. We got a new washer and dryer. The washer was gross. It was a problem. So we didn't want to resell that one. We just had them get rid of it. But the dryer, we looked online and most of them used ones were like $100. So I said, well, I'll just throw it for $200. It doesn't hurt. We got a spot in the garage. We could keep it. And like a day later, it sold. So I think that's one of the things I've learned from you guys is if you don't have to rush, just price it however you want and see what happens.
That slow dying pays off sometimes.
Sometimes you just set it and forget it, especially if you got the space. I mean, same person would have paid $50 would have paid $200.
But out of the same thing, I mean, if you're not selling a lot, you're pretty knowledgeable when it comes to the things that we're selling. You're always chiming in with bits and pieces. I mean, just on this PSA article, I remember reading it, but I forgot about it. So, extremely knowledgeable. So, how do you stay engaged, or why do you stay engaged with this?
Well, I stay engaged with things that interest me. I do buy a lot. I don't buy as much as if I were going to try to sell it. But
What are you buying?
so I buy stuff that I liked when I was a kid, and I buy it for my kids. But I'm not spending a lot of money. I'll buy these packs of cards from the '80s that they have millions of that you can get for $10 for a whole box, and then they'll pick out the ones they like, and we'll throw the rest in the trash.
Yeah, he used to take those from the trash, go give them to Phil. Phil gives them to the kids, and sometimes he'll hook you up with a little in-store discount for future knowledge.
I gotta say something nice about Phil because everybody already knows. But anytime you go in, he'll be super nice to you. Even if we went in, we were lucky enough to get there on the first day, so I think he remembers us because of that. The first day he opened, he wrote our names down on a little notebook.
He does have
we'll
that
come
notebook.
in there and he'll pull up his notebook and there's the names and he'll give the kids get their
brings in the
cards,
Jimmy Cheapy pants litter with them. Just brings them all in. They in there. He knows everybody's names. He gives them cards. Desert Storm cards. That was hot on my son's list.
If you ever have those junky cards, though, go give them to him, and he'll give them to the kids.
Samuel Schwartz.
You don't know the difference between I don't know. I was going to say some bad players, but I'm just going to offend people. So.
Yeah, but between YouTube and baseball cards, it's pretty fun for me to watch my kids get excited about knowing who Bo Jackson is and Andre Dawson, who was my favorite, and all these old players that I know our other guest was a participant in because I remember some of the stuff that he had when we were little kids. So it's just fun.
It's that nostalgia button. That's kind of what we're talking about. Jimmy's smart enough to try to do it on a more economically friendly budget than most people, but that's what I'm selling with a lot of the wrestling cards or other memorabilia and stuff that we're selling out there. A lot of it is that nostalgia factor that people just want to share either with their kid or relive their childhood because those were, they're good times in life.
And now that this internet, like they constantly watch you for some reason now. Like when I look at Facebook and I look at these videos, I have a plethora of videos of WWF, like old wrestling stuff that comes in, like the 1983 Royal Rumble matches and.
You're welcome.
Backstage, the 10 most things that weren't supposed to happen.
Now you know the secret of Doink the Clown.
I do not. That hasn't gone up there yet, but you just threw that out there, so it'll probably show up in my Facebook feed.
Now everyone else listening to the podcast, they'll see it on their feed. They know the secret of Doink the Clown.
Okay. I don't know what that means, nor do I want to find out.
You know how there's secret text threads? Me and Mike Painters is even
You even had another one?
Oh, yeah. It's like a pyramid scheme.
So that's like...
As long as I'm at the top, I have all these different connections, and then just the closer you get up, the thinner it gets. I don't know, the less levels.
That your down line gets thinner?
Yeah.
With the less people, the more crap that there is?
It depends what you're into, man. It depends what you're into. Is it time for a break, Adam?
We're getting close. I got one other question for Jimmy Cheapy Trans before we hit the next level. Now, if I remember right, you've got some pretty close ties with the state of Alaska. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's another thing that Waddy beat me to the punch. I was going to try to hold you guys hostage for a download in Alaska, and he offered one up.
He's offered, but he has not come through.
All right, then I still have a chance.
So...
I'll have to pick
if you want to be my favorite
Jimmy.
I haven't talked about my favorite Brian's for a while. If you want to be my favorite Jimmy, Alaska comes through. Then we're going to have to work on the Dakotas.
We will have a favorite Jimmy if that happens for us all. So let's take a break here and we'll come back on the other side hot with our other in-studio guest.
Man, the holidays are getting here, Adam. I know it doesn't feel like it, but they're on their way.
It was a little chilly last night, so I believe it's coming.
The fall is in the air. But the problem is people need money to buy gifts for loved ones.
And they got a list. Unless you're listing, people can't buy it if it's not on the internet.
If you're looking to make some money and you're looking to make it fast, you got that death pile of clothing. Sellhound is for you.
We've got some good friends over there. Suzanne, she's been helping us out.
She's been liking our videos. I don't know if you've seen over on our YouTube page, but she's been making comments. She loves us, Adam. I don't know what we did right, but she loves us.
It's because you brought up Gene Simmons. That's why.
It didn't hurt.
Well, our friends at Sellhound are giving you a special offer. If you go on there, sign up for an account, it'll allow you, it'll help you to get your clothing items, your death pile. It'll help you to get listed a lot faster, which means more sales.
I mean, your clothing, your shoes, your women's handbag, purse type items.
I know you got a lot of those, so let's help you out. Let's get those items listed. Derek, how can they qualify for that?
Well, first off, they're going to let you do your first 3 for free. Just try it out and see if you like it. Learn how it works. So you can't beat free.
You're out of nothing.
Everyone knows if they're going to do it for free, you're going to get hooked.
If it's free, it's for me.
After that, you just put in DeathPiles, all capitalized, DeathPiles 25, and you'll get 25% off whatever subscription you decide to go with.
That sounds like a wonderful deal to help you make more money. And like I said, that's what they're all about, is helping you get that bottom line so you can enjoy the things you want to enjoy.
Get some holiday cash.
And spend it at everywhere you want on the internet.
Adam, I think I learned more about reselling during the break than I did the whole episode.
Well, when we get that Patreon account, you can sign up for it. It'll be only $5.99 per month, and you can hear all the good stuff during halftime.
The Patreon account, the GoFundMe account, or keep us alive on life support. We got more gifts.
We do got more gifts, man. You are a good guy. Apparently people like to give you things.
When you're 100 episodes and, I don't know.
Your friends give
you...
good
friends.
Your friends give you wrestling memorabilia. Everyone online just gives you grief.
And we got Flipper Anderson cards. It's just a party over here.
That was the Los Angeles Rams. That was one of my favorite teams as a kid. I like that guy.
If his son could have caught, he'd been a great NFL athlete.
It's true. Drez would have been up there, too.
Well, we got a new guy in the hot seat. This is a guy that I used to go pawn shopping with, yard selling with. He's a true pirate from back in the day, Adam.
Was he a roommate back when you were getting the Trevor Hicks stuff?
He was a roommate back then, yeah, probably about that same time.
Trevor Hicks.
Someday Taylor Hicks can come punch you in the face.
Oh, Taylor.
So eBay sends you these things every now and again, and for their 25th anniversary, they sent a remember when kind of thing, and it's like your first sell. I took a screenshot and he put up on the Facebook thing.
You do?
It said your first sell, Taylor Hicks, whatever, with the picture of the thing.
Mine was, I think, an economics book from BYU.
Oh, there you go.
I didn't need it.
I didn't need that Taylor Hicks sign, but welcome to the show. You got a cool nickname or alias you want to go by?
No, you can just shoot my name. That's fine.
This is Ben the Carney Sevy.
Carney, that's a name I hadn't heard in a while.
How you doing, buddy?
Doing good. Happy to be here.
Welcome into the DeathPiles and Taxes program. How many of these bad boys have you listened to now? This is my go-to question for everyone.
Every single one of them. Faithful follower. Every week I look forward to the new episode. And what they're bringing in this week. So I'm excited about it.
Well, you have to like it because, like I said, I mean, I've got friends and they'll tell me the stuff to listen to, and I can barely get through like their 12,000 text messages that they send me to once a week. So you spend some time listening to it. So why do you do that? What hooks it, or what makes you want to keep listening?
I spend a lot of time with my job in my truck and in my office by myself. So I listen to a lot of podcasts, listen to a lot of different things, a lot of books. And it's the ones that catch your attention, and the ones that are entertaining yet informative, and that's what I get out of this one. It's grew up with Derek. He brings up a lot of old stories that I haven't rehashed in years, and brings back the nostalgia, the memories that I completely forgot about. And there's that factor, and then there's the educational part of it as well, where I'm learning something new. I'm excited about what you guys do. You hear those stories, your success stories, and that's kind of, you were asking me earlier about the favorite episode, and I was thinking of all the success stories that you tell. I remember the one like the MacGyver jacket, and the McDonald's mat, and I've got pretty excited about Jerry Salone's jockey shorts here and that. I listened to that episode, I think, a couple of times just because it was entertaining. So
I've had a guy reach out and want to know if I would sell him the jock strap and not sell it to the guy that bought it. There was a fight for the jock strap that I've yet to air out, but
You should have let them each grab one of the sides. And
no, I think was not. We weren't going.
you know who lets go is the rightful owner, right? So.
I don't think that jock had left in it. There wasn't enough elastic left.
If there's anyone that knows a lot about jock straps, that would be you, D-Roy.
That's true. I'm an expert in some very weird things, but. Well, you were saying during the break you had a Doink the Clown story.
I did.
And that tickles me, so can we please have a Doink the Clown story?
Yeah, that's another thing about this podcast. Like I said, you bring up memories that I'd forgotten about for years, and I worked with a kid. He was from out of state. I'm definitely not going to use his name.
Let's just call him Larry.
Larry works. He grew up in a different household, I guess. He lived with his mom, and his mom dated many people, and one of the many people that she dated was actually Doink the Clown.
No.
Doink the Clown, and we gave him so much crap about that because I worked up in the office and he worked down in the shop, and you remember Doink the Clown's theme song?
Oh yeah, how could I forget?
I would pull that up on YouTube and I would blare it for everybody to hear, and everybody knew what it was, and they would point at him because one day I guess he stood up for his mom and he got the crap kicked out of him by Doink the Clown.
Doink was brutal. This guy subsequently killed himself after you publicly shamed him and bullied him in his workplace.
No, I didn't. But he was good at taking crap, but we dished it out to him. It was pretty funny.
If you were Doink the Clown's
See, this is not pre-staged.
somewhat son-in-law, I don't even know what you'd call that.
You couldn't correlate the information better than that story. I mean, allegedly, a Doink the Clown story comes up, and Ben knows somebody whose mother was having a friendly conjugal visits with Doink the Clown.
Doink Clown came to town every 3 months on the dot. He was there to do his show, and he knew where Larry's mom was located.
There you
at.
go, man.
And I had never thought of that story until this point. And that was, what, probably
It
8
could have
years
been worse.
ago.
Look up Alabama Doink. There's worse Doink the Clowns than that one.
Wow, let's
That
get
was a
back.
derail.
Let's get back on subject here. Ben, thanks for that story.
Sure.
Have you resold anything on the internet? I've seen your things pop up. I know you're working on the Facebook Marketplace, but what kind of things are you selling?
Honestly, on eBay, I have not sold anything. The Facebook Market, yeah, I do sell stuff on that. That's mostly just to get rid of things.
That's a good
Just
way.
to clean up the house. Yeah. I guess I do a little bit with that. With selling, listening to you guys, I guess the stories that you tell, it gets you motivated. And I've been thinking about, what would be my niche. And I'm pretty cautious. I don't like to jump in anything. You guys talk about jumping in and learning and getting your feet wet. I'm a little more cautious, and I want to find my niche first. And so I'm still working on that, I guess.
Now, you used to be in the storage unit game, though. Your dad managed storage units, and you would buy some on occasion.
Yes.
That's something we haven't really talked about on the
have
podcast
not
that we've
dabbled in that area.
What are the secrets to buying storage units? Or we've all seen the TV shows, but everyone says those are kind of
Yep.
little staged, little fake. Do you have any good storage unit finds or stories that you've heard from that? And then how do you go about buying a storage unit at a good cost? Any tips for the listeners?
Honestly, at the time, when I dabbled in that, it was more looking for things for my own personal use. It wasn't I didn't have the resale mindset at that point. But we did have, I guess, from the TV shows, people, they go delinquent and they end up auctioning off all of their stuff. And I was able to be a part of that too. I'd see the people come in, and there was people with that mindset. That's what they do. They would go around doing just that. And we had several of those that come to the units that we were at. And I remember one couple in particular. They looked into this unit and they got excited. They tried not to show it. They put on their game face, but once they got it, we kind of kept our eye on it because you could tell they wanted something. And we looked into it and we just saw garbage. It was. But once they won the unit. They were so excited, and they got in there. I wanted to see what they were so excited about, so I kind of peeked around the corner and watched them. And they crawled through all this garbage up on top in there, and there was this little box, a little green box, that you can only see one side of it. And the lady recognized exactly what it was, and it was some doll, some figurine that she had around. But she'd done her homework. She knew the history of it. She knew, exactly what it was from just the corner of the box. And they opened it up, and the doll was actually in there. And they said that made the whole thing worth it. And they paid a lot of money for that unit. And
What's a lot of money to you?
more than I would have paid.
Well,
I
if you
think
hang out with Jimmy Cheapy Pants, we're talking $20 here.
to my memory, it was in the neighborhood of $2-3 somewhere in there.
Oh, that's some doll hairs right there.
It's a few Big Macs we're Adam eats.
That's right.
So I guess it's just being able to recognize things, doing your homework, recognizing things, and being able to pick them out. And
So I've always had a question about storage units. I don't know. It's a game that we've talked about. I've seen other people do the same thing. How much of it is junk? Like, are you literally just taking it to the junk for them? I mean, you said you were trying to find personal use items. Like, what were you looking for? Bikes, TVs,
Spatulas, VCRs.
From the way you look,
Rondos.
are you talking about like bench pressing? I mean, what were you looking for? Weights?
More tools than
Tools.
anything. Stuff I can use to build up a shop, I guess. And anything personal, like things that we have in our home. We got a piano. A lot of the tools that I have came from there. I don't remember anything. Those are the main things offhand, but that's the things we look for. But yes, to answer your question, some of them there would be people that wouldn't buy them, and we'd have to go in and clean them out, and it was a lot of junk. And even the stuff that we did buy, we'd sift through it, and there was a lot of junk too. So there's the junk to collectible ratio. Yeah,
It's kind of weird that people would pay money to store junk and do it for years.
I say if you have something in a storage unit that's been there longer than 6 months, you don't need it.
Unless it belonged to Jerry Sloan
That's true.
or some other alleged items I may or may not own in secret locations and hidden.
Is there going to be like a
Treasure
second
Valley.
lot of Jerry Sloan stuff come out here?
I hope so. I need to follow up on that.
If you can find it.
If you can find, if you can find it.
If you can find it. I know we've got, one of our special listeners got Larry's old Lexus, so.
Yeah, we're a jazz family podcast. Well, what else you got for us, Adam?
Well, I don't know if this is taboo. You never know the real stories when you get this crew together. I'm kind of the adopted in. I've kind of known all these guys separately and things. But Ben, he's got a lot of stories about him. There's lots of allegedness that come around, and a lot of them for some reason have to deal with your father. Like, was he kind of the overbearing type, or tell me your dad's relationship with these other guys? Is he the guy that would catch them doing stupid stuff, or how did that work?
this could be incriminating, I guess. No, my dad was more the guy that would see us doing stupid stuff and cheer us on.
Give us some good ideas. You might want to do it this way. Try it like that.
No, there's, I guess, a lot of stuff that I forgot. Apparently, you know more stories than I do. So what?
You always hear things, and you never know what's true or not true. And did your dad have an accident with a saw? Is that a true story?
My dad is an amputee. Yes, he is.
So he lost part of his fingers, or what's the real story?
He lost, let's see, I don't remember. I think it was his left hand. He lost the tip of his ring finger and then all of his pinky finger. I have pictures on my phone if you want to see it.
Yes, I would. That's what you never know with these guys, what's true or not true.
You don't make up a man's lost a digit.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I've heard other people making up stories that, hanging out with people who don't have legs and taking them to prom.
Those are all true stories.
That's all I'm saying. You never know with you guys what's true or not true.
A fun story is Ben's father and my father are friendly and have worked together and done a lot of stuff together throughout the years, but now my dad's trying to broker deals for me to go buy stuff off Ben's dad. So, like sports cards, I've got some these baseball coins or something. So my dad will come home with things or say, "You should go over and buy this from Ken. You should go look at this or that." So, and it seems that there's a family cycle of selling between us, I guess. I don't know.
He's always talking to me. He's like, "Oh, you got to ask Derek about this. You got to ask Derek about these cards that I have." He's got all kinds of stuff he wants to ask you about.
So it sounds like Ken knows. You know what I think we might need to do? We need to do like a second generation. We need to bring in Denny and Ken at the same time.
The Ken and Eddie show.
And we just might as well not talk in that episode. They just carry it for us. But
I could use some carrying for a while.
You can lift off that back. Now, are you still
Wow.
Are you still a guy that likes to negotiate prices? I know we used to like to go haggle.
Oh, we had a lot of fun in the pawn shops. I haven't.
You asked for
I just
it.
crossed out of my
I can't even look.
I don't look at that. So I have people trying to show me. I don't want to see that.
Wow.
Well, see that?
Jimmy's looking at it.
Wow.
Sorry, what was the question?
That's haggling.
Oh, haggling. No. I'm not.
Give up your haggling ways.
I haven't been into that for a long time.
He's
No.
playing coy. Yeah, I know what he is. He's one of those guys. He's just like the shark.
I think you're on the brink of getting back into the game and you have all the skills because we grew up. That's what we do for fun for whatever
Oh,
reason.
yeah,
we drive to pawn shops and then we just. I don't know. I don't even know if it was haggle or annoy people, and we didn't necessarily have money to buy things.
I remember you haggle. I think you were the master haggler. You haggle with the carnies, haggle with the.
I had no fear at the time. I didn't realize, how easily I could be eliminated.
And when you hang out with those kind of folks, you never know where you're going to end up.
But no, I mean, I thought that was half the fun, was just trying to negotiate. I don't even know that I wanted the item that we were after all the time, but...
So you can go and tell your children that this is what this generation used to do for fun. They would go to pawn shops and haggle guys down on items that they didn't even have enough money to buy. That's how clean fun used to be.
I remember haggling with the people on, what was that? QVC?
What?
Do you want to know the QVC? I can't tell you what I had for lunch yesterday. I can't tell you people in my wife's birthdays. Like, yeah, I know my wife's, but like other family members and stuff.
Yes.
I can tell you the number to call QVC right now is 1-800-345-1515.
Okay. And you guys would call QVC and haggle about the price.
When you grow up in a small town and for whatever reason, maybe it was just dumb luck, but we didn't get into the drugs or the drinking. The Lord must have been looking out for us. We found other ways to entertain ourselves. I'm not going to go down the road of all those ways, but one of the things that we like to do, there's payphones in those days, or other things, and you could go call up the QVCs and you could have a half-hour conversation with somebody that was paid to listen to you about if they had certain items in stock, or if they could go a little lower on CD players, or whatever you wanted to do. And half of it was just to entertain your friends. But there was a time in my life where I needed a CD player and I didn't have access to the internet or TVs and stuff at the time.
The internet wasn't existed.
Well, it existed, but it wasn't like how it is now.
Al Gore was the only one that had access.
And so
at that time.
I knew that if I called 1-800-345-1515 and I told them that I was looking for a CD player to see what they had as far as Discman was concerned, that they could hook me up with a good product at a fair price, and I'll be dipped in boiled owl if I still don't own that portable CD player to this day. That also had an AM/FM radio attached to it.
Oh wow, that had to be high dollar back then. That's some.
I think I only paid $45 for it. And I'm not saying that was the going rate. I'm telling you that's why I paid for it.
That's what you got it for, huh?
Yep.
Wow. QVC, severed fingers, and storage units.
I told you this 98th episode was gonna be a winner.
And Doink the Clown.
Doink the Clown. Good memory.
We couldn't even scripted that any better.
Couldn't script it if we tried it. Now, is there any chance of you getting down the online sales game? Or is that something you're not interested in?
What do we got to get you to get into this game?
Because we got two guys here that listen to every episode, and then they don't sell on eBay. But Jimmy finds me deals all day long and send it to me. Ben's contacting me about different things throughout the day and seeing things and selling things on Facebook Marketplace. What's it going to take to push you guys to try an eBay sell?
Like I said, I'm cautious and I want to find my niche, and I'm not sure what that is. I've thought about a few things and looked into a few things when I have free time. That's another thing. I know it's a pitiful excuse, but time.
You take time to listen to us every week.
I'm a multitasker.
When you're in that office by yourself at work, now you can just put that other work to the side for a bit and make you a little easy money. Jimmy, let's bring the mic over here. What you got?
All right, so I actually brought an item today.
Look at this.
It's going to be my first sale.
Ooh.
It wasn't this gift that you gave me.
So it is inspired by previous episodes of the podcast, because Derek's had success selling this kind of stuff. It's something that I've kept for a long time for no reason other than nostalgia and memories that I'm ready to get rid of.
I'm on pins and needles.
It's not that cool, but I think if I can get $20 for it, I'll be happy. So in 1996,
I already know what that is. I remember that.
I don't remember. No.
I remember that.
Whatever. My first concert, Smashing Pumpkins at Salt Air in Salt Lake. We were 16. And
Now wait.
I bought a shirt.
We're gonna be honest about this, though. This is one of my favorite Jimmy stories. How did you get to go to that concert? Because your parents don't listen. I know. Randy and Sue aren't listeners.
Regular listeners.
So, Smashing Pumpkins is kind of a scary name if you don't know what your kids are listening to.
And they didn't.
Well, I listened to a lot of my CDs on their CD player, but when Mike Painter lent me his Melancholy and Infinite Sadness CD. That was one for the Discman. But they were coming to Salt Lake, and I really wanted to go, and so I knew which songs were a little more mellow, and so when I was trying to get my parents to let me go, they probably would have let me go anyway. They were a lot more reasonable than I thought they were going to be with a lot of stuff like that. I'd play 1979 for them and
The select
Disarm, you know, the quieter songs, the mellower songs, and asked for permission to go, and they gave me permission. I just made sure not to play the
No Bullet with Butterfly Wings.
Bullet with Butterflies Wings and Zero.
And we're talking Smashing Pumpkins here. We're not talking
Yeah,
Ford.
it's not
Rage
Metallica,
Against the Machine.
You know,
So you went to this
okay,
concert.
sorry,
pretty tame for a lot of people.
Okay, so I stole your thunder a little bit. So, okay, what do you got?
So it's not necessarily a tour shirt. It doesn't have like all the dates and everything on it. But I bought it at that concert in 1998.
In the 90s.
1998. It
Vintage
says 0
90s.
on the front with the star, and it's got an SP on the back, the Smashing Pumpkins logo.
Now, have you looked up comps or anything on that?
I just tried, didn't find anything right out, with a couple searches.
You're gonna sell for more than
$20.
More than $20. Jim.
More than $20.
Yes.
So, yeah, I think one of the things that stopped me in the past, and that's nice about Facebook, is shipping, and that's kind of a mystery to me, even after all these episodes I've listened to. Adam brought out his blue shiny things, and you knew right off the bat that he could get a better deal on the priority rates.
He doesn't listen to me. I'm kind of mad at Adam right now because he won't go to pirate ship and save himself money.
Because it's hard. eBay shipping is so easy.
It's not hard. You just need to know a zip code and an address.
But I don't have to do anything with the eBay stuff.
What do you have to do with pirate ship?
I don't know. I've never done it.
What we're going to do after the show, we're going to do a quick tutorial for Jimmy and for you.
Well, okay, but with
And
eBay,
Ben, if he wants to stick around. But
So
that's all, though. I'm not going to do it for anyone else listening, unless you come in studio.
So who did you go to said concert with? Did you and Derek go to the concert together?
I didn't go to that kind of music. I was a good kid.
No, it was Mike Painter and Mike Wood, who's not
I wasn't
in the
smart
band.
enough.
I don't remember who else went. Sorry.
Did Clint have to drive you guys?
No, we were 16.
I wasn't smart enough to play him the calm songs.
My cousin invited me to golf that day at Thanksgiving Point, which at the time was the most expensive course in Utah. So I had the guys pick me up at Thanksgiving Point after my round, and I changed clothes because at the time you had to dress up in a polo, and I didn't wear a polo to the Smashing Pumpkins concert, so I brought a change of clothes. A lot of memories.
Well, I think you'll be surprised with what that could fetch you.
Yeah,
That's
gonna be
a
some
good
dollars. And then that'll just kind of feed the beast, because when you see people pay for stuff, it's unreal. Once it happens, it's kind of that.
It's time you get that hook.
Yeah.
It's kind of like I always compare it to gambling, but you two aren't big gamblers, so it's kind of like your team scores a touchdown. I don't know.
They're very conservative. If you didn't hear that, they don't gamble on things.
That's all right though. It's not a gamble if you know you're going to win. That's what Pelican taught me.
That's right.
Also, I'm sorry. I just need to. There's this 100th episode that I wanted to make sure got recorded, so me and Adam have been spoiling it all week. They're all a couple episodes now.
Last few weeks now.
There's a rumor in the 100th episode that you have golfed with a major celebrity, probably more than a lot of people. Do you want to go into any of those stories, or should we just leave it as rumor and innuendo?
Just leave it for now. We'll tease the crowd.
We'll tease. He'll come back and tell these stories someday. That's it, Adam.
You find out who you are. You guys, there's more deep diving in the area that you guys grew up than most people could deal with.
Well, I appreciate the gifts. Thanks you guys for coming in. Thanks for listening to 100 episodes. Jimmy's got more things to share.
Okay.
I'm not going nowhere.
We're here to hear.
Sorry, a couple
that's
things
fine.
that I wanted to bring up. First is this. I got to show you guys. What I have to redeem. This I'm holding up is a golden ticket from
I didn't even mention you, sir.
pre-pandemic
Your first, the
award
first winner, I
for,
think.
Anyway, I've got this golden ticket, and I know what I want to do to redeem it. It might take a few months to be able to pull together, but I want to go to the Pelican area of Utah, and there's a couple stories I want to source out with you guys.
Oh.
So maybe he can join us if he's not doing what he does in his office.
His windows are boarded up.
Well, yeah, not today. It was not the time to go there. Lesson learned.
But it might be because a lot of people are taking some stuff now because it might be some damage, so we can find some low-hanging fruit up there.
The other thing I wanted to mention that I thought I should bring up here because I know you guys don't pay attention, and that is the Star War, as you like to call it. Star Wars. So
It's got an S on it?
no.
They made more than one.
Yeah, only when you're talking about more than one movie.
Oh, it's singular. Cacti or cactus?
It's like thermos. The plural is thermon.
Thurman, wow.
No, that's me.
Munson, right?
So, there's a TV show there's a Netflix show called The Mandalorian that you guys don't watch because it's a Star Wars show that is coming out with the season 2 at the end of October, and so it's just a tip for anybody that might be anticipating the demand that might come about from that season coming out. There's all these Baby Yoda type toys and stuff that I'm sure you could make some money on if you were into taking risks. And I know I'm not going to spoil anything that these guys were going to buy because they're not into the Star Wars. So
I haven't gone down. That's not my niche yet. Nor do I think it ever will be.
However, if there's money to be made, I would sell Baby Yoda and his parents.
You did something.
I wouldn't even care. I wouldn't think twice about selling that Baby Yoda into somebody's hands.
Wow. Well, you never know what's going to happen when we have the in-studio guests. We've had a ball. Any other topics you want to hit on here, D-Roy?
I did a big run. I was probably going to talk more about it, but I went multi-state this last week, this weekend, time for the Labor Day. But it's kind of fun sometimes if you ever get you a wild hair, whatever you're after, whether it's going to pawn shops or maybe your thrift stores or retail arbitrage, Walmarts, whatever. Make yourself a little map, and I ended up in Evanston, Wyoming, of all places, looking for things, and it was a fun little side trip until I was coming back and my car decided that it had enough and it was ready to tap. But that's a whole other story for another day.
Well, the story is I'm backing out of my driveway and this idiot is like sitting there behind my driveway. I'm like, what is that moron doing? I'm like waving at him, like, get out of my way. And sure enough, back out of the driveway, there's Derek in a new car. So I didn't even know it was him, and I was cursing him out.
A new car that we've had for probably 4 years has it's 1 mile away from hitting the 300,000 mark for the last 6 months.
just can't give up the ghost.
Here's a story. So my wife, I wasn't feeling exactly great one day, and she calls me up and says, my car's about to hit 300,000 miles. You want to come out and let's go for a ride and hit the mark? So me being the guy I am, I threw on some clothes because probably I was just, in bed, sick, napping, trying to bounce back. And so I go out there, and we went riding, and I'm like, I know I'm not feeling good, but it feels like we've been going for a while. And we only have to go like a mile. And I'm like, we went a mile. Then finally I'm like, what's wrong with you? She's like, oh, it's been like this all day. I'm like, all right, I'm not feeling good. Let's go home.
So it didn't go over.
But for resale value, now that thing is almost went 300,000 miles. I'm not going to give you a screaming deal because I like you. Cash money, I'll give you a Carfax if that's what you're after. But it's almost to that point where it's going to be an instant classic. You can enter that in talent shows or whatever you do across the nation with cars. I guess that'd be a car show, not a talent show.
I think you need to call up your brother-in-law and see if you can get him swindled on that deal. He is the eBay motor kind of guy.
I've thought about selling on eBay Motors. I'm just trying. So what we were doing is we came back and the red triangle of death, if any of you are Prius people will know what that is. It's like worse than the check engine light. Sometimes it just goes off sometimes. And this is a 2004 car with 300,000 miles on it, so it doesn't really owe us much at this point. But we were coming down a canyon and that came on. Then I got out of the car and I saw there was like a slit in the tires almost, so I had to go get new tires. I thought that was the problem. And it wasn't, so I was just driving, hoping it would go off so I could sell it to somebody or trade it in or whatever you do with
that
cars.
Was your excuse. You were doing it by my house. You were, scoping it out.
Well, I was looking at those fires. You're up there on that high mountain. I want to make sure that you haven't been evacuated or consumed by flame, but then you call me some moron up there checking on your wealth.
Luckily.
Health.
Wow. luckily, the heavens came down and gave us some snow last night and severely slowed down the fire. It was a little concerning.
But all is well.
I do got another question for Jimmy.
Okay.
All right, and I'm assuming probably Ben the same way. We're all pretty savvy when it comes to vehicles. We all tend to buy vehicles that are not brand new because we're not going to waste our money on that. That's how Pelican got Gail's good Lexus. Jimmy, I'm familiar with the car you had. I used to have the Twinner car. How many miles does the Saturn have on it now?
Oh, it's only got 150,000.
Only 150. Wow,
That's got a lot of life left in it.
You are extremely conservative, like your eBay. Not doing much. I put up to 230,000 on mine when I sold it, and I wish I would have kept it. So you got a lot of life, especially if you're driving that way, man. You could drive that thing another 7 years before it goes out of stuff. Your point of your children could probably drive that.
That's probably the goal.
Wow, that was my question. Yeah, I know Jimmy. He keeps that stuff. In fact, I do have another thing that I don't think you could ever sell it. But one day Jimmy and I were at a radio event, and we went and got Lavelle Edwards and Ron McBride's autographs on a football, and I still have that football, and it's one of those things I don't know if you ever want to sell it, but
Your kids will, or your grandkids.
they probably will.
That's what's going to happen.
I was hoping to
Ben's grandkids are going to buy that from your grandkids out of the storage unit and sell it. That's how that goes.
I was hoping with some of the relationships that I have, I could get Kyle Whittingham's and then Kalani and somehow find Gary Croton and just go back see if I can get Jim Fossil to sign it and have all of the Utah BYU coaches back to the beginning of time.
There's worse goals.
I figured I might as well give it a shot.
Well, Adam, we got two guests in here, and there's two things there for certain. I think we're to that point, aren't we?
I think we are to that point.
Well, fellas,
what are those two things?
DeathPiles and taxes.